From Sister Erica Jordan. She's a Dominican nun and retired school principal. Sister?
At the Siena Center?
No, I'm from Cincinnati.
Oh.
Dominican Sister of Cincinnati, Wisconsin, though.
Yep.
Good evening, Mr. Speaker. I know that you're a Catholic, as am I, and it seems to me that most of the Republicans in the Congress are not willing to stand with the poor and working class, as evidenced in the recent debates about health care and the anticipated tax reform. So I'd like to ask you how you see yourself upholding the Church's social teaching that has the idea that God is always on the side of the poor and dispossessed, as should we be.
Spoken like a great Dominican nun. Look. Sister, this may come as a surprise to you, but I completely agree with you. Where we may disagree is on how to achieve that goal. As you know, we all exercise prudential judgment in practicing our faith. And for me, the preferential option for the poor, which is something that's a key tenet of Catholic faith, that means upward mobility. That means economic growth. That means equality of opportunity. That, to me, means working with this guy over here at Gateway Tech to make sure that we can close the skills gap, to make sure that every person who wants a career and job can get the benefits. We actually just passed this bill in July. Before that, we passed another skills bill. That means, to me, taking this 20th century poverty program that we have, which is, we're in the 32nd year of the war on poverty, trillions spent, and guess what? Our poverty rates are about the same as they were when we started this war on poverty 32 years ago. So the status quo isn't working, sister. And what I think we need to do is change our approach on fighting poverty. Instead of measuring success based on how much money we spend or how many programs we create or how many people are on those programs, measuring on inputs, let's measure success in poverty on outcomes. Is it working? Are people getting out of poverty? And what I believe, when you look at it that way, I actually have a commission that Patty Murray and I set up that's underway right now to focus on these measurements. We need to make sure that we bring people into the workforce. The poor are being marginalized and misaligned in many ways because a lot of the programs that we have, well-intended as they may be, are discouraging and disincentivizing work. No, it's true. We were just talking about tax reform, and I was telling you about these successful small businesses in Wisconsin. They got a 44.6% tax rate. That's not the highest tax rate payer. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, who deserves every salary, is not the highest tax rate payer in this state. You know who it is? It's a single mom getting 24 grand in benefits with 2 kids who will lose 80 cents on the dollar if she goes and takes a job. We have to fix that. And that is why we have to fix it, not by just kicking people off callously, but by making sure that we can customize these benefits to help a person get from where she is to where she wants and needs to be. That means we have these benefits phased out in a certain way that fits her needs and goes and fixes it. The model I'm talking about is one you're familiar with. It's the Catholic Charities model. Cristo Rey Parish, right 4 miles that way. Cristo Rey Parish has Catholic Charities that does a fantastic job, in spite of government, doing wraparound benefits for the poor to make sure that they get to where they are, from where they are to where they need to be. If only government would actually help do that as well, I think we could go a long ways in fighting the root cause of poverty. So you just touched something that I feel so strongly about, that moves me so much. I think the government has made a lot of mistakes, well-intended, lots of money, but we are not solving the problem of poverty. And doing more of the same and just funding the status quo will just get us more of the worst results we've been getting. We've got to change our approach, focus on outcomes, focus on the person, and always encourage work, never discourage work, and make sure we can customize benefits so that we can get people out of poverty. That, to me, plus a stronger, growing economy, making sure we're not taxing companies overseas so they stay here. The Foxconn deal is a perfect example. Foxconn.
We're going to get to that in the next.
I can get going, but the point I'm saying, sister, is that's how I practice my values and my faith and my principles in trying to apply these principles to fighting poverty more effectively, because the status quo has not been working, and I think we can do a whole lot better.
You've touted the Foxconn deal as a huge success for Wisconsin, but For each job Foxconn creates, Wisconsin taxpayers are going to be paying at least $20,000 per job per year. Now, I understand the impact of the jobs in Wisconsin is going to be substantial and a good thing. But aren't we setting a precedent for large corporations to demand taxpayer dollars to create jobs in our state?
So I make a distinction, obviously, between the federal and state government. As you know, local governments compete with each other all the time for economic development to be able to land. 13,000 jobs and $10 billion over 15 years of payroll ain't nothing to sneeze at. And I think that's really good for us. And that's why I think it's an exceptional deal. And by the way, it was going to go to another state if it didn't go to Wisconsin. And then there would be no tax base whatsoever. It was going to go to North Carolina or Indiana or some other place. I'm glad it came to Wisconsin.